Indy here, RPG a Day, Day 13. What is your dream team of people to roleplay with? This is a very difficult question. I have a lot of people in my history that I think were just excellent people to roleplay with. Most of them have at least competent role-playing skills, if you will, and others also make up for the difference in their humor or other aspects. What makes this question really difficult is I'm also going to say, well, if it's a dream team, it's a team I can field, which means 3 to 5 people. I'm going to keep it at 4, right in the middle. So, player number 1. And I say player, but I just mean role player. The GM could be myself or somebody else I list. Player number 1, my wife, who I do not name. But she got into the hobby after marrying me. I introduced her to it. And then she stepped outside her introvert nature and we went to Dragon Con and we got even more experience there. She played 3 different systems in one day. It was quite a landmark occasion. She is good. I like her thoughts. I like what she chooses to do and what she chooses not to do and why she chooses to do the things. Because I get to hear that a lot more often than maybe you would some other player. But being able to talk about the game on the way home and in between, and what do you think about doing for your level up, and just getting to hear all these thoughts. I really like what she puts into it. You've heard on the earlier days her story about her character death and things like that. It's been really good playing with her. So why wouldn't I include my wife? Player 2 is my good friend Brian that I have referenced also in earlier videos, the gamer who has shaped me the most and the most surprised session. He's just a lot of fun and he's a good role player. I'm putting that in quotes. I hope no one gets offended. I don't really know about a good role player, what that would even be. But he qualifies. And he's a really great GM, as I've mentioned before as well. So playing with him is always fun, no matter the system and no matter the size of the game. The third player I would include is one of my friends named Jeff. I have 2 Jeffs in my role-playing history, a Jeff M and a Jeff D. I would include the Jeff D. Jeff M was an amazing role player, voice, and stuff like that. But I'm choosing a Jeff D since I'm trying to keep the list short. He was just a really fun guy to have at the table. And he brought the puns like me, so it could get painful, but that would still be a lot of fun. And at the same time, he had an old school kind of sensibility. When he finally thought he had time to do some role playing after his second child, he brought out the D&D module, A Paladin in Hell or something like that, and chose to run that. So I can appreciate the some of the old schoolness that he would bring to the table. My fourth player would be Steph. This is a lady I go to church with, and she was in the group that was getting introduced to role-playing when I also introduced my wife. I introduced my wife, Steph. I'm counting on my left hand here where you can't see. I introduced Steph, my wife, another couple, and Steph's husband had played in college, but he'd only ever played one-shots. He didn't have any concept of role-playing in a longer form than that. So even playing a 4 to 6 night adventure was new to him. The 5 of them and another friend who had been role-playing for a long time. I had the 6 of them in a party when I was introducing them to role-playing. And I was, as I think back, and I'm just impressed on the choices and the characterization that Steph was able to make and grab a hold on and shape really early. And she also had a naivety or an innocence to role playing and to the stereotypes and the conventions, not group conventions, but conventions of the genre that helped her make choices that I wouldn't have thought that someone would do. Sometimes players surprise you because they think about a skill or a spell that they have that you forgot to plan for, or the obvious thing like, well, is there a backdoor? But she did things even different from that I wasn't expecting. So that was really fun and refreshing. Um, like I said, there are a lot of other people that I really enjoy playing with, um, that are really good friends too. Um, I can't have a party of 12. That would kill me. That would not be a dream. That would be a nightmare. So that's the four. That's the four I choose. If you'd like to find out more about RPG A Day or RPG Brigade, this year's hosts, the links are down below. You can also go there to find other people's answers to these questions and share your own. Feel free to comment down below with any of your responses to these same questions, or to post links to other people's content that you found also interesting.